What's up guys, Bionic here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do more Summoner's Glory because there is a lot of things that I want to cover with you guys. So this is going to be an ultimate beginner's guide, all the little things that I've been able to figure out so far that will hopefully help you guys be better, or at least start stronger, as well as a couple of things to not do early on, right? So what I also want to cover is how this compares to Raid Shadow Legends. The game has a lot to offer. We have some PvP, some PvE, we have some sort of like guild bosses as well. We have if I'm not mistaken, a demon tower, which is going to be probably very similar to the Doom Tower in Raid Shadow Legends. So today, let's go over all of that, and before I get started though, let me quickly remind you guys that there is a promo code you can use before you start playing this game or during the character creation screen, right? If you use the promo code BGE, that is going to give you free in-game loot. Also, I started a guild. It is called Bionic. Feel free to apply as quickly as possible so we can start giving each other even more free stuff, because that is one of the advantages of being in a guild with somebody, as you can see right there. There is also a PvPvE element to this game, which is a very nice. I can't wait to try it out. So hopefully I get to play with you guys. I don't know about you, but I am pretty excited. All that being said, let's jump right in. To start off this ultimate beginner's guide, we're going to go over each button and see exactly what they do. At first, it can be very confusing. So here we go with the first one. The time limited summoning pack is just a time limited deal. You can buy or not buy it. As for the bonuses up here, this is one button that you are going to be using quite often. For instance, the login bonus for every day that you log in, the growth gifts for every 10 levels that you reach. The newbie gifts are different actions that you do in the game will also reward you. For instance, adding a lot of friends, increasing the level of runes, boosting gear 50 times, spending diamonds in the shop, and so on. As for the tea room, this is something I have not tried yet before, but it does look like you can get free vigor. I would strongly suggest that you pay attention to this whenever it comes up in your time zone. The King's Patience is different levels of the Demon Tower that you have completed will give you very valuable epic books, so definitely start working on that as quickly as possible. The King's Treasury, if you've gathered these words, that will give you more rewards. As you can see, I am almost done and missing one. This is basically just done as you play the game. Merlin's Lesson, a couple more milestones to complete so that you can get even more rewards. The Path to Perfection, again, a couple more actions to complete in game, and will give you even more rewards. Then the lottery system, which is basically going to reward you based on the amount of gold books you have opened. So don't hoard them, unlike perhaps Raid Shadow Legends, where in the beginning it might be better to hoard some of your shards and use them at the right time. Here it really seems like right now it's better to go all in as quickly as possible to capture even more rewards early on. The King's Challenge, even more achievements to complete, which will give you even more rewards. Big Spender, this is basically going to tailor to the players who are looking to spend in the game, and it will give you one of the best phantoms in the game right now, which is Ankaris. I know I definitely want to get my hands on her as quickly as possible. Public Warrant, even more milestones to complete so that you can get even more rewards. Daily Sharing, I talked about this one before. Make sure you share every day. If you are on mobile, you can actually send this to like Discord, for instance. If you haven't joined my Discord server already, feel free to do so. And finally, invitation code or reward codes. If ever there's any kind of promotions, you can enter those in here. All right, so that one was relatively long. Now let's move on to the couple other ones. The check-in button. This one is basically going to reward you every day that you log in. Although these rewards are quite nice, the ones you're really after is the ones down here, where it is going to give you some fragments of the Jester Phantom. This is one of the best units in the game right now, in my opinion, so make sure you capture all of these. The next one to cover is the Black Market, which I strongly suggest you guys look at this on the hour, or at least as often as possible, because it does refresh every hour. You want to pay attention to some of these runes right here. Some of them are better than others, most likely, which is indicated by either the cost they have or the background color. For example, these Harvest runes right now, in my opinion, are some of the best in the game, so I am keeping keeping an eye out for them, as should you. The next one is the Trove, which is just a mini game. I have yet to try it. Then we have the shop where you can spend your gems, or you can actually buy more packs with money. You can also buy a couple phantoms. For instance, here, if you accumulate enough crystal shards, that will give you a crystal, and then you can buy specific phantoms. So also pay attention to that one. Then we have the Novice Activity button, which is very similar to the bonuses one, where you're going to get epic books every time you log in. And as you're completing these different chapters over here, you will be getting, for instance, some silver books, gold books, and even more epic books, so do pay attention to this section as well. Then we have the summon buttons, which is basically where you're going to pull your phantoms. This is pretty straightforward. However, I will caution you that do not use your epic summoning books without 4 players to assist you, because it is going to give you a better chance at pulling higher tier phantoms. Also, the players who are helping you out are going to get gold books, okay? So this is something you do with friends. Then we have the guide. This is where you're going to be able to track your daily quests. I will quickly point out that you do not need to do all of them every day in order to get all the rewards at the top, but you certainly want to do it every day because this is like extra gems, even more free stuff. You can also check a couple more quests here from, let's say, the character tab, which there are a lot if you scroll to the right. Also the phantoms tab, which there is even more if you scroll to the right, the enchantments tab, and then the resources tab. Some of them seem to be repeating themselves, and I believe that some of them are probably overlapping with the activity button at the bottom right. For instance, the Phantom Abode, I do believe I said it right this time. This is where you're going to be able to burn your vigor. So you do want to be doing this every day, or at least never be full of vigor so that you are not regenerating. This can also be controlled by the battle assistant if you want to do it automatically. Once a battle is done, your little red dot is going to appear. Then you can claim your rewards by simply clicking the claim button. Then you can also hit the send button again, and let's say you want to keep farming that specific level, you can then send off your team yet again, and in 5 minutes you can then get the rewards. Finally, I want to also quickly touch on this button at the bottom right, which will open up a couple more things you need to worry about. For instance, the career button, which we talked about before. This is like your achievements. Every time you do something, a red dot will appear, and you will have even more stuff to claim. Then we have the Grimoire, which is basically the index of all of the phantoms in the game. Do pay attention to this a little bit, but more precisely the favorites button at the bottom left corner, because every time you gather enough phantoms of, let's say, the Gospel Church, that is going to give you rewards. So as you keep pulling, and that's another reason to keep pulling as often as possible, you'll get even more rewards from this section. Then we have the Mastery Test button, which you can only complete once you've reached certain milestones. However, I will point out that advancing your diploma level will upgrade your stats and boost your phantoms. This is also what seems to control the little star above your player. Next up is the formation button. Hopefully you understand how this works by now. You can play around with different formations with your phantoms. Then we have the phantoms button. Again, this should be pretty straightforward by now, where you can look them all up, upgrade them and whatnot. I will come back to that in a second though. Then we have the character button, where you can look at your main character. The craft button, where you can craft a couple different things. Next up, we have the sacrifice button, where you can sacrifice your extra phantoms for more resources. However, I will caution you guys, do not sacrifice phantoms unless you're 100% certain that you will not need them for, let's say, skill ups, or perhaps you want to keep extra copies of SS copies to eventually evolve the main phantoms you are using. I will come back to that in a second. Next button we have is the chat button. This is where you can send out friend requests, accept friend requests, which I strongly suggest you do as quickly as possible, because they can send you vigor and you can send out vigor 20 times per day. You have to take advantage of this system as much as possible. The next one is the guild button. If you haven't joined one already, here's mine. Feel free to apply. I will gladly accept you, as this is a place to get even more rewards. For example, example, the envelopes here, which I believe you can open only a certain amount per day or receive a certain amount. You can also get a guild bonuses depending on which sort of perks we've decided to unlock. And then finally, there's the gift of fragments, which we can do by sending to each other or making a wish, if I'm not mistaken. You can also select the phantom that you are looking for, and then other players can help you get them. So again, more free stuff in here. You definitely want to pay attention to this. Finally, we have the leaderboards. If you want to check general stats about the game, who's first, who's the best, and whatnot, this is the button to do it. Now let's move on to the activity button, which we've seen many times before. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one already. Hopefully you understand how this one works, but I will say that the adventure tab is probably going to be a little bit later. As for the arena tab, this also seems like it's going to be later. Finally, we have the backpack button where you can equip or unequip items on your main character. So also, I will point out that you have these little boxes every once in a while, or these little chests that you have to open. Literally just use them, and that's going to give you a piece of something. So if you have too many of them, that's just extra resources sitting there that you're not doing anything with. The next couple of things I want to touch on are little things that are going to make your life a lot easier in this game. For instance, clicking on the minimap will open the map. If you want to navigate the map without controlling your character, you can literally just press on the map. That will move your character. You'll also see if there are any exclamation marks for, let's say, extra quests where you can navigate to. If you want to move out of this section, you can click on the little world button at the bottom left corner, which will open the even bigger map where you can navigate all the different zones. That is something I wish I knew very early on. You also have the quest button that if you click on, it is going to open all the available quests. For instance, the main story quest you're on, any extra bonus quests you could go to by clicking the button. Usually your character will be teleported directly to that, or it will bring you to that section, for instance, in the guide button. Back to the quest button though, you can also, let's say, move around to some of the raid quests. For example, that starter zone you want to go back to farm some of your new phantoms, you can click on that one. That will teleport you to that zone, and then you can start farming some of the lower level enemies so that you can start ranking up your really good phantoms. While we're here, I'm also going to point out that these are repeatable quests. If they are marked by what seems to be the raid tag, that means that you can repeat those as many times as you want. This is in fact a great way to keep farming while you do not have any more energy. Also, these can easily be completed by clicking on, let's say, the travel or the auto travel button by clicking on the specific, let's say, quest, which is under the quest little mini button. And if your character starts traveling to this new quest and you want to quickly cancel it, you can either hit the thumb button at the bottom left corner or hit the auto on or auto off button, which is also at the bottom left. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about today, guys, is the phantoms. A couple of things to do or not do. For instance, when you want to evolve or power up some of your phantoms, you're going to hit that little evolution button. In here, you can actually evolve your phantom by selecting other copies of the same affinity, which will rank it up to, let's say, rank 1. I do believe you can go all the way up to, if I'm not mistaken, rank 8. But do pay attention to this, because at some point it says you have to use SS quality of, let's say, any element, or eventually of the same element. But you certainly do not want to feed the same copies of a certain phantom into a specific phantom. Why? Because you want to keep those for instead, in this button down here on the upgrade button, skill ups. When you select a same quality phantom to go into upgrading the level of that phantom, it is also going to give you a chance at upgrading a random skill. For instance, 100% chance if it's the same quality. If it's a lower quality, it is going to be 10% chance. If it's the lowest quality compared to the one you're having, you will not get any skill upgrades. Therefore, when I say hang on to your phantoms until you are 100% certain which ones you're going to use as skill ups or, let's say, evolution material, then you will also be able to decide which ones you're going to use to destroy or sacrifice in this section right here. So until you are 100% certain, do not get rid of all your extra phantoms, especially if they are SS quality. I will quickly point out that the light and darkness do seem to be some of the better phantoms in the game right now. Therefore, I would hang on to all those extra copies again until we are 100% certain which ones are the best. All of this being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, consider subscribing for more, joining my Discord server, and also the current guild that we have ongoing. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you guys later.